It's been a pretty incredible time lately, hasn't it? There's been a lot of controversy going on. There's been a lot of uh, push and pull. There's been a lot of voices being raised. But I honestly believe right now, this is incredible. It's what this country needs. For too long, as I've said before, our nation was set up to where we elect representatives to go to Washington and represent what we want. Well, it's evolved into no, you will do what I tell you you're going to do. It's been the politicians saying, no, 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 I'm the politician. You do what I want. And I think we shocked a lot of them by these town hall meetings. I think we shocked quite a bit of them. You see, they really wanted, you notice, they wanted to push this plan through before they went on break because they knew this would happen. And if they pushed it through, there'd be nothing we could do about it. But then we turned up. Oh, and they tried to push us away. They called us right-wing extremists. They've called us racist. They've called us birthers and deathers and any other thing. As a matter of fact, we were told we were un-American. We were told that those of us who showed up aren't representative of real America. But the funny thing is they weren't having a town hall meeting for a certain party. It wasn't, okay, only Democrats can come, only Republicans can come. Anybody could show up. This was their town hall meeting, their constituents, the people they represent. They weren't walking into a strange foreign place. This was people that they represent, people that voted for them. Now, I did a video a while back, said, tell your politicians they're fired. Well, we're really starting to do that. See, Obama's starting to back off provisions in the health care bill that worry us. We're worried about the phrasing. He's starting to back off. Some of the other politicians, even Barney Frank, said right now we don't have the votes to push it through anymore, saying they did. But now they got people like us, people like you, that are speaking your mind and making a difference. Here's the thing. It seems at this point we may be winning. Don't be fooled. Do not be fooled. All they're going to do is they're going to go back and they're going to try to find another way around. You know, it's like a football game. You may stop them 3 downs, but then they're going to huddle up and say, what are we going to do on this 4th down to make it? So we got to be vigilant. We got to be watchful. But we also need to let our politicians know it is too late for them. Their actions have already been done. They can't take back what they did. We know their true feelings and where their heart is. And we don't want them representing us anymore. Or hell, maybe you do. But for those of you who don't, it is time to speak up even louder than we did before. Let them know that you hope they've enjoyed their time. But their time's over. It's time for other people to step in. Now, I'm not talking about let's fill the House with Republicans. I don't care if the person's a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, a libertarian. I want the best person for the job. I want somebody to hold that office that represents me and represents you in the way we want them to do. I don't want some idiot who's all about special interest groups and how much money I can make and whose back I can rub. See, that's bullshit. That's not politics. That's organized crime. What we need is representatives. We need people to say, my constituents want this, and damn it, I'm going to give it to them. Not, you people are not indicative of real America. You left-wing, you right-wing extremists, you birthers, you deathers. As Barney Frank said yesterday, I'd rather have a conversation with an end table. You know? So we need to let them know they've gone too far. Now, if you love them, send them emails of support all you want. But I think there's millions of us out there that are starting to get our point across. It's time to get it across even more. Let them know this is it. They're done. Start packing. Their terms are coming up soon. We need to be out there in droves. The same way we were out there for the presidential election, where everyone said, there's a change coming. And now we know what that change is, and we don't want it. I guarantee you Barack Obama, unless something spectacular happens, is probably a one-term president. Has nothing to do with the color of his skin, has to do with his policies. My leaders in my state, Carl Levin, you've been in there way too long. I think it's time to go. Debbie Stabenow, I think it's time to go. Vern Ehlers, wow, I used to respect you. Might be time to go. Lord knows our governor has to get the hell out of there. Well, how is it in your town? How is it in your state? Let's start letting them know. You know, we've spoke a lot about the health care, and we're going to have more conversations about it. But when we get to these town hall meetings now, we need to also make sure that we're not just posing those questions, but we also need to let them know, Mr. Congressman, Mrs. Congresswoman, you're done. You work for us, and you forgot that. If I were to walk into my boss's office, the guy I work for, and start telling him how things are going to be and not going to be, and if he says something, Leonard, I don't like the way you're doing this. And if I were to say to him, you know something, well, you don't matter. You're not representative of what this company is. How fast do you think it'd be before I'm fired? Why do you yell at me? Don't talk to me that way. I will not be kowtowed. I will not bow down to people like you. Well, I'd be fired. Start calling them right-wing extremist or racist. I'd be fired. Well, guess what? So can they, and they lost sight of that. It's time for us to remind them of it. So, Mr. and Mrs. Politician, we will start speaking up more and more. The emails will continue. The phone calls will continue. The town hall meetings we show up to will continue. You need to know one thing. You have crossed a line. I understand you have a contract forever for those 2 years, 4 years. But when that time's up, it's time for you to go. But in the same breath, we need people out there that have ideas. We need leaders out there to step forward and lead. If you say to yourself, you know, I'm a Democrat, but I don't agree with everything they say, so I'm not really going to run. No, run. If you're a Republican and you have the same views, I just don't agree with everything they have to say, I don't care. Run. Become an independent. Do what you have to do. But it's time for us to take our country back. It has been told that if our country starts to take too much power, then it's the duty of the American citizens to stand up and take it back. This is that time. And it can only be done with your help. We need to stand up. Let them know once again, I understand your opinion, I understand your position, but you've gone too far. You cannot take back what you've done. You're fired.